It's absolutely a great honor for me to be a resident for RPO. Since I played with the orchestra for the first time, I think it was in 2018. We also had that time chamber music with RPO musicians, and I remember that it was a remarkable experience for me to know the musicians of the orchestra, and this in the concert, the orchestra sounded fantastic, and then that I could have this opportunity to become artist in residence for the orchestra for this season. I just got so excited. Well, that's the music I listen to is basically always the pieces what I'm running, because of course I don't listen to the music immediately before I look at the music, but sometimes it's the other way around. So sometimes, and then besides classical music, I like sometimes listening to pops. Recently, I like listening to Billy Joel because I knew his brother, who is a conductor. We've been, having some good time together with Alexander Joel in Vienna. I just started listening to his carefully, and now I love all the classics of his music. Like recently, I found that this Uptown Girl, of course, it's very famous, but just when I started listening to this music, it just stayed in my head because it's not just uplifting music, but it's harmonically also beautiful how he writes music. So yeah, traveling to UK is for me very special because I'm a big fan of Elgar, the composer, and I also play the violin concerto. It's a marvelous, enormous music. I always dream to visit some places where he was visiting for his compositions, some beautiful landscapes and this. I once would love to visit in my life and to feel that his feeling of for his music. And but this time, actually, it's first time for me to visit other cities than London. So I'm quite looking forward. For me, it's absolutely a masterpiece. I would say that this concerto should be played more often. It's just for me, maybe, but this music is very familiar to me. I started running this concerto when I was 14 with my violin teacher in Vienna, Pavel Vernikov, who is also Russian. So there are, so many different characters in the music, and it's in a way very romantic. So I just love this concerto a lot, and I play this very, very often. I am sure that the audiences will love the second movement of this concerto. It's so romantic. It's not just typical Prokofiev music. It's such a melody, beautiful melodic music, and harmony is really beautiful. Harmony changes are very, very important for this music. And then third movement, the last movement, is so exciting. The tempo changes are crazy. In the end, we just go boom. I just love it. For me, this Brahms violin concerto is like a big mountain. It's like a huge story of Brahms music. I would say also this is a bigger version of his chamber music. He wrote a lot of beautiful chamber music. I always enjoy playing this concerto because that I can connect with the orchestra by listening and looking, and that makes such an enormous violin concerto. I think to be gathered with musicians and audiences to experience wonderful music, because I think this is only happening in live concerts, not from through video or internet. But this is, for me, I believe this is very important part why we have to do live concerts and to have audience. I don't like to be on the stage alone. I always want to collaborate with some other musicians. Well, I can't sit so long. So I'm always being a soloist. I'm joking. But I, mostly I play concerto with orchestras. For if I would say thinking my schedule in 1 year, 70% with the orchestra and 30% some other things. But sometimes also I conduct my orchestra here, and I enjoy a lot making music with other instrumentalists. But at the moment, I prefer being soloist. To play with RPO is such a privilege for me. It's the first English orchestra that I played with. I'm so happy to be back finally to London to play wonderful music with RPO musicians.